Hello all, my name is Madeleine Burns, and I will be presenting today on 6-month outcomes of children with past COVID-19 and multisystem inflammatory syndrome in children. So just a little bit more about me. I completed my master's thesis with the Yonker lab and have since continued on as a clinical research coordinator with a particular interest in the long-term care of children after acute illness. For the most part, children with acute COVID-19 experience mild disease. However, in rare instances, some children develop a hyperinflammatory post-COVID-19 condition now known as multisystem inflammatory syndrome in children, aka MGHfC. Since the onset of the pandemic, over 6 million children have been diagnosed with COVID-19 and 5,200 diagnosed with MGHfC. Yet, little is known about the long-term impact and serologic protection in these children. This project enrolled children under the age of 21 with past COVID-19 and MGHfC diagnoses who had provided samples during acute illness. These individuals were approached to provide a blood specimen and complete a symptoms questionnaire at follow-up. The blood specimens were later analyzed for SARS-CoV-2 specific antibody responses. The cohort was distributed evenly, and participants provided a convalescent sample at an average of 6 months follow-up. Anti-spike antibody responses were analyzed, where we saw that IgM followed expected trajectories, suggesting seroconversion to appropriate subtypes at the follow-up time point in both COVID-19 and MGHfC. Interestingly, we saw that IgG wanes over time in the MGHfC cohort, but remains elevated at the follow-up time point in COVID-19. A similar trend was seen in IgA, where titers decline in MGHfC and remain stable at the follow-up time point in COVID-19. Symptom data captured in the questionnaire suggests that lingering symptoms persist predominantly in the MGHfC cohort. Most notably, children with MGHfC reported lingering respiratory and general symptoms, such as congestion and fatigue. Both groups reported increased neurological symptoms at follow-up, with headache being the most highly represented. Lastly, nearly 50% of the MGHfC cohort had ongoing gastrointestinal symptoms, which may indicate persistent mucosal inflammation months after acute illness. Ultimately, this study suggests that most children display lasting immunity at 6 months follow-up. The duration of these and the protection against reinfection is not yet known and will need to be compared to that of vaccine-induced immunity. Given the ongoing symptoms that many children experience after natural infection, receiving a COVID-19 vaccine is preferable.